Hello everyone. Let's explore a wondrous world where farmers raise millions of livestock on vast green pastures without the need for barns. Leave a number 1 in the comments if you want to see more of this video. To ensure a stable goat population and maintain consistent breeding capabilities, farmers in Western Australia employ various effective grazing and management techniques. Instead of confining their goats in pens, they are allowed to roam freely across expansive fields, where they can forage for an abundance of grasses and herbs. This free-range grazing reduces stress in the goats, enhances their health, and consequently improves their natural breeding potential. To avoid overcrowding or food shortages, farmers divide their grazing areas into different pastures and practice rotational grazing. Each week, they move the herd from one pasture to another in cycles, ensuring that the grasslands have time to recover and are not depleted. This practice provides a stable food supply, keeping the goats healthy and thriving. Additionally, farmers utilize modern technology, such as GPS tracking systems and drones, to monitor the herd in the grazing areas, ensuring that no goats are lost or experiencing health issues. Breeding goats are closely monitored, and those females meeting breeding conditions are kept in pasture to ensure a high reproduction rate. Female goats typically have the ability to give birth to 1 to 2 kids each year, and due to the grazing methods employed, the survival rate of kids in natural conditions is significantly higher. The lives of farmers have become more stable thanks to the benefits provided by goats. They not only generate income through meat, milk, and wool, but also help control weeds and maintain the grassland ecosystem. Notably, goat milk and meat are highly valued products that are in great demand. Farmers capitalize on the rapid breeding capabilities of goats to expand their herds and increase revenue. Goat grazing not only yields profits, but also strengthens the farmer's connection to the natural environment, thanks to sustainable farming practices that have minimal negative impact on the ecosystem. Nomadic people in Mongolia have practiced traditional pastoralism for over 3,000 years. For them, herding is not just a means of survival, but a harmonious lifestyle intertwined with nature. Their herds of goats, sheep, yak, and horses roam freely across vast pastures, foraging for food without confinement to pens. The endless green fields of the steppes serve as a natural enclosure, allowing them to save on construction and maintenance costs while ensuring their livestock have sufficient sustenance. This method is rhythmically attuned to nature's cycles. In spring, as the grass begins to flourish after a long winter, the herders move their livestock to lowlands where the grass is abundant. During summer, they guide their herds to higher altitudes to escape the scorching heat of the plains and seek fresher grazing grounds. By autumn, they journey southward to warmer areas, preparing for the harsh winter ahead. This migratory schedule helps maintain a stable herd population, ensuring that the animals receive adequate nutrition for healthy growth and reproduction. Not only does this practice provide a stable income from milk, meat, wool, and goat products, but it also fosters a deep connection between people and nature. The nomads carefully observe nature's signs, from changes in wind and clouds to the calls of birds, to make informed movement decisions. This vigilance not only supports the health of their livestock, but also helps preserve the natural ecosystem. If you want to learn more about this fascinating lifestyle, leave a comment with the number 1. Natural livestock herding is a defining characteristic of Maasai culture in Kenya and Tanzania, one of the oldest pastoral communities in Africa. Here, livestock is central to life and the primary means of survival for the Maasai. They do not confine their animals to pens or use industrial feed. Instead, they rely on the vast, generous pastures of East Africa to graze their herds. The herds mainly consist of cattle, sheep, and goats, which roam freely across the expansive grasslands of the savanna. The Maasai are not stationary, they move seasonally, following the lushest pastures that best meet their animals' nutritional needs. Their migration patterns are determined by the rainy and dry seasons. During the rainy season, when grass flourishes, livestock is grazed in the lowlands. As the dry season arrives, they shift to higher ground or areas with abundant water sources. The Maasai always respect the balance of nature, ensuring that they do not overgraze any particular area. Livestock provides income through meat, milk, and hides, but it also holds significant spiritual value in Maasai life. Cattle are considered symbols of wealth and status within the community. Through their deep understanding of the ecosystem and respect for natural laws, the Maasai have maintained this herding practice for thousands of years. For them, livestock is not just an asset, but the very soul of their nomadic existence. In nomadic regions like Kenya and Tanzania, culture and festivals are intricately linked to their nomadic lifestyle. One of the most prominent celebrations is the Unoto, the coming-of-age ceremony for Maasai young men. During this festival, boys transition into warriors after years of protecting livestock and living in harmony with nature. They don vibrant red attire and dance to the wild rhythms of traditional songs. The sound of drums echoes across the vast plains, blending with the wind rustling through the expansive grasslands, creating a scene that is both majestic and deeply moving. In addition to the Unoto, livestock sacrifice rituals are an essential aspect of Maasai culture. They hold ceremonies to honor deities, praying for favorable rains and the health of their livestock. This reverence for cattle during these rituals not only demonstrates their love for nature but also serves as a way for the Maasai to connect with their ancestors and preserve their long-standing traditions. In nomadic regions like Mongolia, Kenya, and Saudi Arabia, cuisine is not just about sustenance, it reflects the unique lifestyle and culture of the people. In Mongolia, the iconic booze, steamed dumplings filled with a mixture of mutton or beef, onions, and spices, are a staple at family gatherings and outdoor feasts. When enjoyed, booze is often dipped in soy sauce and accompanied by milk tea, creating a delightful fusion of flavors. In Kenya, the Maasai are renowned for their ugali, a type of cornmeal porridge. To prepare ugali, they boil water and gradually stir in cornmeal until it forms a smooth, thick consistency. This dish is typically served alongside fresh milk from their livestock. Meanwhile, in Saudi Arabia, kabsa is a famous rice dish cooked with lamb, spices, and raisins. The preparation of kabsa involves toasting spices like cinnamon and nutmeg before cooking them with rice and meat, resulting in an aromatic flavor profile. This dish is often served at large gatherings, showcasing the hospitality and rich culinary traditions of nomadic cultures. Leave a comment with a 0 if you've ever had the chance to try these delightful dishes. A well-known cheese is agar, made from either cow's milk or sheep's milk. The production process involves heating the milk, adding rennet, and allowing it to ferment, resulting in a highly nutritious product. The price of this cheese can reach up to $20 to $30 per kilogram, depending on its quality and the production methods used. Nomadic people often craft garments from the wool of livestock such as goats, sheep, and camels to cope with the harsh climates of their wilderness environments. This wool is not only lightweight and durable, but also possesses excellent insulation properties, keeping them warm during the freezing winters and cool during the sweltering summers. Utilizing livestock wool allows them to save costs and effectively harness the readily available resources from the herds they raise.
Follow along with a staff member to see how they process fox meat. Every step in fox meat processing must adhere to specific procedures to ensure food safety. First, the fox is hung up, and a sharp knife is used to make an incision from the neck down to the belly, avoiding damage to the meat. Next, the fox's skin is peeled away from the legs, carefully pulling to avoid tearing. Once the fur is removed, the pinkish meat on the fox's body is gradually exposed. The staff will then proceed to remove the remaining outer layer of fat until achieving the desired meat portion. Did you know that it takes at least 50 foxes to make a single fur coat? Each fox fur coat goes through multiple meticulous stages. First, the fox fur is carefully inspected to ensure it meets standards for thickness and color consistency. Then, the skin is soaked in a chemical bath to soften and preserve its necessary flexibility. Next, the fox skin is put into the spinning machine along with a little sawdust to help the drying process go faster. The rotator will remove excess moisture and make the skin softer and smoother. After tumbling, the fox skin is hung on racks to air dry naturally, ensuring durability and softness. Finally, the dried fox skin is intricately processed into high-quality fur fabric. These fabric pieces are then sent to a workshop where they're tailored into stylish, warm, and luxurious fox fur coats. Leave a 1 if you appreciate products made from fox fur. Opening the doors to farms that supply fox fur and meat for processing is an act of courage. The living conditions of foxes raised for fur and meat extraction are often far from ideal and can be quite harsh. These foxes are typically kept in small, cramped cages. The limited cage space restricts their freedom of movement. The lack of natural environment also contributes to a decline in their mental and physical well-being, as natural light plays a crucial role in regulating biological rhythms and overall health of animals. The practice of trapping foxes for the purpose of processing their fur and meat has had numerous negative effects on these animals. Foxes confined in cramped cages with insufficient space for free movement often exhibit signs of psychological distress. Therefore, the use of foxes in processing has been increasingly restricted to conserve their natural populations. Let's continue our tour of the factory with me as we move on to the wheat fields, which supply the raw materials for the bread processing factory. First, high-quality wheat varieties suitable for local climate conditions are carefully selected. The soil is meticulously prepared using organic fertilizers to provide necessary nutrients for the wheat plant's growth. Once the soil is ready, wheat seeds are sown at appropriate spacing and depth. The next steps in wheat plant care include regular watering, fertilizing to supply nutrients, and weed control to ensure optimal growing conditions. All these steps are carried out with careful attention to detail and strict quality control to ensure that the wheat plants achieve maximum productivity and produce high-quality wheat. Once the wheat plants have matured, the harvesting process begins. Modern machinery is typically used for swift and efficient wheat harvesting. After harvesting, the wheat is transported to processing plants where it undergoes several steps such as husking, threshing, and cleaning. During processing, the wheat is sent to production lines to be transformed into various wheat products, such as flour, wheat bran, or other processed foods. The entire process demands technical precision and special care to ensure the final products are of high quality and meet market demand. Leave a 0 if you find this process dull. The process of grinding wheat into flour is one of the most critical steps in transforming grains into various products. At the wheat processing plant, this is done using specialized equipment and precise procedures. First, the wheat is cleaned and dehusked before being fed into the milling machine. Here, the wheat is ground into flour through a precise grinding process involving specific pressure and speed settings. The milling machine must be adjusted to ensure the final product achieves the desired fineness and uniformity. After grinding, the flour undergoes several sieving steps to remove unwanted particles, resulting in a smooth and consistent final product. These sieving systems can be adjusted to achieve different levels of fineness, depending on the requirements of the end product. Finally, after milling and sieving, the flour is packaged or sent to other production lines to create food products such as bread. At the bread production plant, every step of the manufacturing process is meticulously executed with high-quality control to ensure the final product meets the highest standards. Firstly, essential ingredients such as flour, water, salt, and yeast are prepared and combined in precise proportions in large mixing tanks. Next, the dough undergoes kneading and fermentation to allow it to rise and develop its flavor. This process requires patience and skill to ensure even and proper dough rising. Once the dough has risen correctly, it is transferred to bread-making machines where it is shaped and sized according to specifications. Finally, the loaves are baked in industrial ovens to ensure they are evenly golden brown at the appropriate temperature and time. After baking, the bread is cooled and packaged to maintain quality and safety during transportation to retail outlets or supermarkets. The entire process demands accuracy, stringent quality control, and the expertise of the staff to ensure each loaf of bread meets standards for flavor and quality.